This is Stay Paid, a sales and marketing podcast on a mission to help you close more deals and retain more business.
Welcome to another Silver Dollar episode of Stay Paid. My name is Joshua Stike.
And I'm Luke Akery.
And today we're going to be talking about this idea of networking. It's cool.
Yes.
We're going to take a different approach because our copywriter and the person who writes our show notes, and she writes all of our blog posts, Gabrielle, shout out to Gabrielle, said, hey, you know, you guys had a podcast the other day where you were talking about the education system and how it's kind of failed young people from the perspective of it's not really teaching them, you know, these life skills. Yeah. These things that you actually need to succeed in your business.
Did your school teach you how to invest in the stock market?
No.
No. They don't teach you financial literacy.
You don't turn to the stock market unless you go for a finance major.
Yeah, it's wild. And my wife was in education. Yeah. I mean, it's like crazy.
Well, and you know, so college maybe does a little bit better because you can pick your niche, and they're going to talk to you a little bit about networking in college. You know, hopefully you have
But everybody needs to know about how to invest. Everybody needs to know about how to balance it.
What taxes actually mean, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
But this idea of, all right, so even like in high school, like learning that your net worth, you know, and this is played out over and over and over again in all of the different guests that we have on the show, really talking about, hey, you've got a network. You have to build a network. You have to build a database of people that you can communicate with. And we're going to talk about why it's important to build a network and then some tips for how to get started networking. So this might be a little, you know, beginner level for some people that are listening, but maybe you're in your profession. You realize, hey, I haven't built a professional network.
Might not be doing it because one of my biggest regrets is looking back and going, and I posted this on TikTok, is just like, I wish I would have kept a better account for everybody I had a relationship with, like literally getting their contact information, keeping in touch with them, all these relationships I've had. I think back to one of my first jobs working in a theater with Bill and Larry. And I go, man, I can't even remember Larry's last name. I wonder what he's up to today. And Bill, he had all these theaters.
Larry, if you're listening, give Luke a shout out.
Yeah, seriously, Larry, I hope you're doing well. But you know what I mean? It's like you don't know where they are. And Bill used to work on the Nickelodeon show, and we do all this content now. And I'm just like, oh, man. Not because you want to just have connections for what you can get from them, but it's just like, wow, that's how life works. That's
absolutely. Well, look, a business network is a group of people who have built relationships based on business experience, similar interests, or similar expertise that would connect them in a business sense. So why is it important to build a network? Well, number one, it connects you with potential clients. Obviously, that's one of the most important reasons that you would want to be out there building a network. But then aside from that, also provides you the opportunity to generate business referrals. We talk about this all the time in terms of building your sphere of influence and setting yourself up to capture more referrals.
And also referrals goes two ways.
Yep.
You give them referrals and they give you referrals. So when you have a great network, you're referring them people. So, you know, I think about my insurance agent, my financial advisor, my real estate agent, that ecosystem, we're all referring business to each other.
100%. Other benefits for why it's important to build your network is it helps you identify opportunities for professional growth. So if you're out there, you're meeting with other business professionals and allows you to gain helpful knowledge and advice within your industry. I look at you and YPO and kind of your involvement in that. That's a network that you've built up, and it's consistently a source that you can go to seek for advice and to stay up to date on what's happening.
And they call you out. Like yesterday, I had a 4-hour YPO meeting. It's basically a group that gets together once a month for 4 hours, and there's other events and stuff like that. But it's all business leaders, and they call you out. Like you explain your problem, what's going on, or something that's happening in your life, and they will just speak what they think, and based upon their experience.
Dose of reality.
Yeah. So I left a little bruised yesterday.
A couple other benefits here. It helps you stay up to date with the latest trends within your field or industry, and then helps you ultimately, you know, one of the benefits if you're new in your career or if you're looking to move careers, you know, helps you learn about open positions in companies that you might be interested in that you would not necessarily have a foot in the door. So, you know, we talk about referrals from a business standpoint, getting referred to a business, you know, from a job opportunity. We actually have a great referral program here at Reminder Media where we encourage people to refer people. And, you know, there's a monetary bonus there, but that's an opportunity to find.
Well, it's one of the best ways to get a job because those people know you. Yeah. So they know your giftings. They know what you're good at. They know the position and what you might thrive in. So it's a lot less likely you'll get manipulated or sold into a position if they refer you in.
Yeah. So here's 7 tips to help you get started networking. Number 1, look for people that will make a difference in your career. So I think the key point here is it's not necessarily about quantity, although you want to build a large network, but it's about the quality, the people that can actually help you in your career. This is keep an eye out for opportunities to take on a mentor. Also, this would be where you would kind of look out for that. But, looking for people that would make a difference in your career.
Well, I'll give you an example of this. Alex, our sales trainer here, reached out to our chief operating officer and asked if he could meet with our chief operating officer. I think like 30 minutes a month or 15 minutes a month, something like that. I don't know the exact, but like what an incredible like action of like this guy. It was before he was even sales trainer. He just wanted to be around and learn from people and get mentorship from people that are more successful that could help him in his career. And he took the action to actually do the outreach. And of course, Mike, our great chief operating officer, agreed. And now he's getting this meeting with the COO of the organization he worked for, all simply because he reached out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so simple.
Next one is make friends, not connections. So this is really kind of thinking about, hey, no one wants to be a stepping stone to you getting what you want, right? So you want to make sure that you're having conversations about them, not yourself. I think one of the things I looked up as it relates to this is this old quote, when money's involved, everyone's a liar, right? So everybody's guard is up. So make sure that you're in it to make friends.
That's so true.
Using like the F.O.R.D method.
Yes.
Right? You talk about the F.O.R.D method.
Yeah, family, occupation, recreation, dreams.
Yeah, so if you're not sure of what to talk about, asking people want questions about themselves, right?
Yeah.
People want to talk about themselves. They want to be interested in. So showing interest in people at a personal
So if
level.
you ever go to a work event for your spouse, if you ever go to some event where you don't know people and you're like, oh man, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to do? Just remember F.O.R.D. Let me talk to them about their family, their occupation, their recreation, their dreams. If you talk about that, you'll have hours worth of conversation.
Absolutely. All right. The next, so this is number 3, begin with people you already know. So this is kind of an obvious one, but ask your current network of contacts. Here's a simple template that I saw that you could use for email or LinkedIn. And it's really following a similar format that we've seen when asking for a referral, right? So sending an email or a LinkedIn message saying, hi, name, hope all is well with you. As you know, I've been blank. So whatever that is, you've been looking for a job, you've been working on this project. I noticed you're connected to blank and was hoping that you could introduce us for X reason, if you feel comfortable doing so. I've included an easy to copy blurb about myself below. So it's kind of a great way to say, hey, I don't expect you to come up with the talking points of why I want to connect with this person, but here's kind of what I've been involved with, a little bit about me. Copy that if you would connect us and create that introduction versus that pure referral. I would appreciate it.
What's interesting, the more years I do this, the more successful people that I meet, I get to interact with, I realized that one of the biggest blockers for everyone is they view successful people as different from themselves. Like they view them as like, oh man, they really know their stuff. Oh man, I mean, I might be embarrassed talking to them. And it's really the age-old adage of they put their pants on the same way. The more I meet these people, the more I go, oh, you're literally exactly how most people are. Like we're all the same. Like, and they're more than willing a lot of times to, if they don't have time to mentor you, help you, have a convo with you, they are more than happy to try to point you in the right direction.
Yeah. Next one here, I believe this is number 1, 2, 3, 4. Join your local college alumni club. This is something that I wish I would have done more because I've seen other people have success with this in terms of, going back and speaking at your colleges. Like a lot of times if, your colleges will ask people that went there to come back and talk about, what they've done in their professional journey since graduating that college to other students there at the college. And while you're there, you're going to be meeting with other people in similar industries because they were probably in a similar major as you. And that's a perfect opportunity because you already have that commonality.
Yeah, that's a
you
great
have that point of interest between people. You're both alumni of that school. And you can also join those alumni clubs with those other professionals to stay in touch with. And you always have that kind of that school pride or that sort of common ground to come back to.
Yeah, that's a great hack to reach out to somebody that you want to mentor you, see if they went to the same school as you.
Yeah.
Because they'll feel that camaraderie.
Yeah, and you can look for people based on where they graduated
on LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn also. Next tip here would be to find a way to help others first. So this really comes down to adding value to the relationship. We've touched on this a little bit, but do your research. Try and find a way to contribute something, no matter how small, to people that you're reaching out to become part of their network, expecting nothing in return and just focusing on the relationship versus the transaction.
It reminds me of the Kevin Harrington podcast. He spoke to us. He's the guy that, first Shark on Shark Tank, and he talked to us about mentorship. And he said the biggest pain point is you have to be a great mentee. Like most of the time you're looking for a mentor, but you're a terrible mentee. Focus on being a great mentee. So what does that mean? It means how can you provide value to the mentor?
Here's a little trivia. Bill Gates, I don't know how true this is, makes $114 per second he is alive.
That's crazy.
So like, that's just, I say that from the standpoint of, reaching out to a successful business person, that time is money.
Yeah.
So go in with the idea of how to help.
There's a whole site out there.
Now, you're probably not going to be able to offer Bill Gates.
Yeah, Bill Gates makes when he poops, or Warren Buffett. There's a whole website out there.
How much do they make when they poop.com?
Yes, yeah. I don't Google that. I don't know what's going to come up, but there is a site. It's pretty hilarious.
No, Google it. Trust us. It's
all
fine.
the rich people out there, like how much they make when they go to the bathroom.
Tip number 6. This one is obvious. We've already kind of hinted at it a little bit, but get social. Look online for people that can help expand your network. You can look in LinkedIn groups. You can look at Facebook groups. You can get on Instagram and find people that are already posting about things that you're interested in, and then engage in a conversation with them. Going to meetups, book clubs, networking events, I think are all very obvious things. I think networking events are super powerful.
Yes.
If you're shy, you're feeling like, hey, I don't know what to say to people, go back to what Luke said in terms of the F.O.R.D method. Develop some icebreaker questions. Go in with a plan. Go in with a certain number of conversations or people that you want to speak to, and hold you accountable to hitting those goals.
Yeah, we should have said also be open. Like, one of the things that attracts people to you the most is your openness. And if you're open and not guarded, if you're vulnerable, it allows people to be vulnerable. So if you go family, occupation, recreation, dreams, if you share about your family, your occupation, your recreation, your dreams, it opens up the combo, and people want to be around open people because it's authentic, right? They see them as authentic. And then another thing is like internships are one of the most powerful things I think you can do that the schools don't force. Actually, the university I went to forced you to get an internship, but I believe you should be trying to do an internship every summer, even if they don't pay you, because not only what you learn from a skill set perspective, but the connections that you make.
Yeah. Kind of going back to this idea of being open and being authentic, like work on developing your own personal brand on your social media that is focused on your niche, and be open, be authentic on that as well. Because if you're reaching out to somebody online and they don't know you, chances are they're going to look you up. And if they look you up, you want to make sure that you have an online brand presence, so that you're not some stranger and they're not, they don't know who you are yet. And then the 7th and most important step across any activity in life where you want to achieve success. Can you guess? Ariel, can you guess? You don't know these. Can you guess? Come on, Ariel.
Take action.
I was going to say social media, but you just said that one. So
follow up. Follow up is the absolute.
I'm going to cut this whole part out, and I'm going to have you ask me again. I'm going to say follow up. And you're going to say, "Oh my gosh, how did you know?" Perfect.
Look, we talk about this when we talk about relationship marketing, when following up with your clients, when following up with leads. People aren't going to come seek you. You have to go seek them. You cannot have a relationship with somebody if you're not speaking and you're not engaging with them. So make sure that you are initiating those conversations, those check-ins. Trust me, the person on the other end will appreciate it. So make sure that you're following up with those in your network.
Totally agree.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. You can head on over to staypaidpodcast.com for the show notes and the video of this episode. If you're looking for ways to support the show, there's 2 ways we ask you to do it. First is to head on over to Apple Podcast, drop us a 5-star review along with a comment to let us know how we're doing. We will read it here on the show. And the best way to show your support is to tell a friend, share this episode with someone that you're trying to network with.
Absolutely.
Right. You find someone that might enjoy podcasts, might enjoy growing their business. Shoot this over.
This is the value that you're giving them.
You would love to see this podcast. I don't want anything in return. I just want to share this podcast with you.
Except Josh and Luke would like a 5-star review. So
don't forget to give us a 5-star review. So speaking of following up with people, sales, all that kind of stuff, in networking, you want to, get to, new business.
Yes.
Might lead you to make, phone calls. Well, I got someone called me the other day on the phone, sneezed and hung up. I'm getting so sick of these cold calls.
That's actually pretty good.
That took me a second, I'm going to be honest.
If you want to get a hold of me or Luke, you can email us at podcast@remindermedia.com, or you can find us on Instagram. We are at Stay Paid Podcast. For this episode of Stay Paid, I'm Joshua Stike.
Guys, I'm Luke Akery. Here's your action item. Look, networking is key, right? Because your network's your net worth. We all know that. And so I would encourage you, one of the most important things you can do is make sure you have an updated Sphere list, right? That is your network. So even if you're a veteran in this business, you've been doing it for a while, have you kept an updated sphere list? Everybody that you're meeting in your day, that you're networking with, do you have their contact information so you can stay in touch with them and do the most important task, which is follow up and build those relationships? Remember, the difference between top producers and mediocre producers in every single business is top producers take action. Take action on that today.